If you've ever promised yourself you'd start exercising, meditating, or doing yoga and then didn't, you're not alone. But maybe that's the problem. We're trying to do it alone. This week, I talk about why doing something, especially if it's new, with a friend can help you stick with it, and how even solo practices like yoga and meditation become more meaningful and much more fun when we share them. So let's get started. Welcome to the Youthful Older Yogi podcast. I'm MJ Waddell, your host and founder of Share Yoga. I've been teaching, practicing, and loving yoga for nearly 30 years. I'm an advocate of movement, creativity, and staying healthy in mind and body after 50. It's never too late to start, and there's a lot of healthy years ahead. So let's start now. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Youthful Older Yogi. I'm MJ Waddell, the creator and founder of Share Yoga and your host. So this episode, I've entitled it, Let's Not Do This Solo. And I've been thinking a lot about this lately because much of what we do is solo. We live solo. Well, I do anyway. You may not live solo. Some of us live solo, work solo. You might take walks by yourself. You might doom scroll solo. And even when we do connect, sometimes it may feel like we're still doing life side by side instead of together. And we're not meant to go it alone. Not in yoga, not in meditation, and not in the day-to-day, not in life. So as we head into 2026, which is just around the corner, and we usually at this time of year try to, make some type of resolution or create a new habit, which I like to say, and try something that helps you move better, feel better, just exist better. And then something that may remind you that you're not alone and that you're part of something, even if it's small. So my gentle nudge to you today is this. As you make your promises or your goals or your desires for 2026, don't do them solo. Find a buddy, find a walking buddy, find a yoga buddy, find a creative buddy, and just that person who will show up for you and with you. And I say that as someone who lives alone. I know how easy it is to retreat into that cocoon, into the silent mode. But connection makes everything easier. It makes it better. It makes it more meaningful, and it makes it more fun. Even doing this podcast is kind of solo. Well, it is solo. It's a solo adventure for me. And all I have is this computer, my notes, and you. And I have no idea who listens to this podcast, who has listened to anything of the 2 years worth of episodes. But through it, I'd like to think that I'm sharing my stories and thoughts about yoga and aging and health and connecting invisibly through this ether. And, this whole idea of doing things together fits perfectly with my offerings coming up for 2026. Yes, this is a pitch. These are my Black Friday deals. And they're two programs that I've taught previously. And they're both making a comeback. And both are about community. They are Yoga for True Beginners and Meditation Made Easy for Beginners and Skeptics. So I want to tell you a little story about yoga for true beginners. When I first created this, I did it in person locally in 2024 at a local yoga studio here. And, before, or I would share with people about what I was doing and this course, and it was 6 weeks, it was for beginners. I hear all the typical stuff. I can't do yoga. I'm too old. I'm too stiff. I'm not flexible enough. I could never do those poses I see in pictures. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. So does that sound familiar? You may have said it yourself. So that's exactly why I made this course. It's simple. It's safe. There's nothing complicated. There's no impossible pretzel posing or impossible stretches. It's just
bending, moving, and breathing, and just becoming more acquainted with your own body and how miraculous your body is. It is for true beginners, people who have never done yoga before, or maybe haven't done it in a long, long time. And in this course, you learn how to use props, how to relax, just how to feel more at home in your body. Again, right? You may have just lost contact with your own body. And if you can do it with a friend, this is even better. Because when you start together, you stay consistent together, there's more accountability, and it's a lot more fun, right? To giggle about what happened to you, week one or week two, how you were wobbly. And when you have somebody sharing this adventure with you, it's just so much more fun. And yoga should be fun. It shouldn't be so serious and highlighting the things that you can't do. It's really to highlight, like I said, how miraculous this human body is, your human body.
I wanted to pop in and thank you for listening to The Youthful Older Yogi. I love bringing you great guests, education, and ways to stay youthful in mind and body. If you love the show and want to help me make it even better, please consider becoming a supporter. You get to choose how much and how often you give, and there's no commitment. And remember, I donate a portion of every dollar I receive to charity. For 2025, I've chosen United Nations World Food Program. Just click the support button in the show notes. And just as helpful is sharing the show with others. Thank you again so much for listening. And now let's get back to the podcast.
And then the other course is Meditation Made Easy for Beginners and Skeptics. And for those of you that have said, meditation's not for me, I hear you. I've heard every version of that sentence. My mind is too busy. I can't sit still. I can't shut off my thoughts. It won't do anything for me. All these negatives. And I've heard it all. And truthfully, I got it. There are so many ideas floating around about what meditation is supposed to look like. But here's the thing. Meditation, it doesn't have to be sitting cross-legged or in silence, chanting, lighting incense, doing all these weird things. So in my course, Meditation Made Easy for Beginners and True Skeptics, I introduce you to 4 different styles of meditation. And they include sound, light, walking, movement-based practices. Every one of them is 15 minutes or less. And you'll discover that meditation doesn't have to be mystical or complicated. It's a way to focus your attention and calm your nervous system in a way that fits into your life. It's mind training. I mean, many of you spend lots of time making sure you're healthy physically. Well, the mind needs to have that much attention too. And that's what meditation is. It's a work into your mind, which leads to a workout, which leads to better day-to-day situations. So if you've been thinking about trying yoga or meditation or both, maybe this is the sign. Both courses start January 3rd, 2026. They run for 5 weeks. Registration will open November 24th and closes November 30th. If you're thinking about trying meditation or yoga, I think now is the time. Just maybe put it in the back of your mind. But I want to offer it to you in a economical way. We meet for 5 Saturdays. Maybe you do both. Maybe you do one. And maybe you do one with a friend, one by yourself. And you can find out all the details at my website. It's shareyogawithmj.com, shareyogawithmj.com. And maybe you want to, while you're there, book a free discovery call. It's more like a get to know you call, because if you don't know me and you may not want to sign up for a course because you've never, known me as a teacher or a leader or any of that. So it's just a time for us to have a few minutes to say hello, find out what might be the best fit for you and for me. And so please don't miss out. It's a perfect time to do something good for yourself in 2026. Start your year off with intention and start it out with a friend. So One other thing, one other thought I wanted to share with you was when I started, I did the Meditation Made Easy course. I began it in 2012. I had never taught meditation. I had been teaching yoga for about 12 years. About 12 years, I'd been teaching yoga, the hot vinyasa style, kick your ass type of yoga. And I also was going through a divorce, and I said yes to everything because it meant additional income. So I created this course without being a meditator in 2012. Yes, I taught yoga and there's some forms of meditation within the practice, but I didn't have a consistent practice. And I said yes. And the minute I said yes, of course, I freaked out thinking, how dare I say yes? I don't know what I'm doing. But then it got me really curious because I just didn't want the people that had signed up for this course just to sit there for, it was an hour for, I think it was 4 or 5 weeks we did it. We met for an hour and I introduced them to a different form of meditation. And no one starting wants to sit still, me included, for an hour. So that's what got me so interested in meditation and led me to my own practice to find out what works for me. Today, I meditate every day. Some days it's for 2 minutes. Some days it's for 40 minutes. It just depends on the day. But I want to take the mystery out of it. And I want you to have this opportunity to just show up 5 Saturdays, on 5 Saturdays, live with me online. I'll introduce you to a different style of meditation. I won't take more than 30 minutes of your time once we get online, and I'll guide you through a 15-minute or less meditation, different types of meditations each week. And then I'll stay on, or if you have to go and leave, you have to leave. It's all good. But I encourage you to, this is a way to slowly introduce meditation into your life. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Every little bit counts. So from sitting around a conference table, that's what we did. We sat around in a room in a conference table, around a conference table for 4 or 5 weeks. And I taught these people meditation. And I had surveys, and what was wonderful about it was the sharing part. That's the bottom line. They were doing it together, and they were sharing their experiences with crazy minds, crazy thoughts. Did this happen to you? Listen to happen to me, so you know you're not alone in it. So it's fun. And these courses, I've designed these courses to be fun, not to be very, very too serious, but a fun way to introduce some well-being into your life. And if you need to go online, you can Google health benefits of yoga, health benefits of meditation for people over 50, and you can see the data proves it. It is really, it helps. It helps the brain, it helps the body, it helps the mind. Okay, I'm like getting really excited about it, so I'm going to sign off. This is my pitch for you to join me. One other thing I wanted to say is that I only allow 30 participants in each course. So mark your calendars for November 24th. You can sign up online at shareyoga.com with MJ. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. And I'd love to meet you, whether or not you sign up for the course or not. All right, friends. So maybe you already have someone in mind, a sister, your partner, best friend, your neighbor. Go find that buddy and let's start something new together in 2026. Let's not do this solo. And until next time, thank you again so much for listening or watching. And until next time, keep sharing yoga. Namaste.
Thank you so much for listening. Now you can go to my show notes on YouTube or Buzzsprout and send me a voicemail or email. I'd love to hear what topics you'd like me to speak about, what your thoughts are on the episodes, and maybe I'll share your message on a future episode. Please subscribe to my website, shareyogawithmj.com, so you can receive my newsletters and be first to know about my retreats, workshops, courses, and freebies. If you navigate on social media, you can find me mostly on Facebook and a bit on Instagram at Mary Jane Waddell. That's Jane with a Y, Jayne. This podcast would not be possible without the help of my editor, Dan Jones from Cocoa Beach Productions. You can find Dan at cocoabeachweb.com. And of course, thanks to my generous guests who share their time, insights, and youthful wisdom. Remember, the Youthful Older Yogi podcast is presented solely for educational, inspirational, and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for a physician or other qualified professionals. Okay, yogis, stay well, stay youthful, and keep sharing yoga.